I have a limp microphone and Victoria's trying to fix it.
It's a nice attempt.
It feels kind of like on par with the last 2 times that we've tried to record an episode of Classy Chaos. And I'm sorry, again, maybe I should just not even call it out. Like not point out the fact that we've skipped 2 weeks of episodes.
Yeah.
But it's because we tried.
I feel like we tried. The first one was my mess up.
The first time Victoria didn't record.
I recorded. It just I didn't record the audio.
So you didn't record.
I don't know what I was recording.
And the second time, we just didn't get to it. But
we did it, but it was really short.
Oh, we were drunk.
We were in
Jubal's
room.
hotel room.
I can still pull the clips from that because that's funny.
Yeah, there was some funny stuff, but I think there was some overshares. But listen, you know what? We're fresh back from Jamaica, and we've got some catching up to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the things that Victoria and I were really excited about this on this trip was we were supposed to fly first class home.
I was so sad about that. I've never flown first class. Well, that's a lie. I've done it once, but I was very excited about this time.
That was given to you. Like you upgraded yourself. You used your own money to upgrade to first class because I feel like the rule is when you go to check in and they give you an upgrade option, if it's under $300, you got to do it.
I think that's a good rule.
Especially if it's like a 6-hour flight and it's under $300.
Yeah.
Come on. They feed you. They give you drinks.
You have more space. You can spread out a little more.
Oh my
You're
gosh.
not just cramped. I'm mad.
Okay, so we'll get to that point. We'll explain why we didn't end up sitting first class when we were supposed to. But, man, we were in Jamaica.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was fun. Jamaica's a vibe. And I will say one of the things that was on my bucket list, I think in life, and I didn't realize it, was to smoke weed in Jamaica.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because
Why?
that's just, I don't smoke weed. That's not my jam. Like, it makes me hungry and tired. I don't really love doing it.
You usually get the munchies.
So bad. Like, so bad. I like the kind that'll make you giggle a little bit and you can go on a hike and then it's a good time. Or the kind that'll put you to sleep. But the kind that just makes you want to eat everything in sight,
Yeah.
it's not worth it.
It's kind of what edibles do to me. I've only had an edible once. And it made me so hungry to where, like, I was still on it. And my stomach was so full and I was still eating. It made myself sick. And then I was basically having a conversation by myself, but, like, to my friends in my head. I won't do edibles again. That's not my thing.
Well, unless you're, see, then the rule is with the edibles. I have so many rules, apparently. But it gives me permission to do a lot of things.
I like it.
Is in Amsterdam. Because you know how they're really big on edibles. So I would feel like
No.
I would need to try a space cake in Amsterdam.
Space cake.
Which is an edible.
That's freaking cool.
It was called space cakes.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like a body high, I think. So
Back to Jamaica, sorry. Go back to whatever you were talking about.
So I feel pretty good that happened. That was on the checklist. And speaking of eating too much, after we floated down the river.
Oh, wait, did that actually get you high?
Like I took a couple hits, like not a whole bunch. So I had like a little baby high on the bus ride back. And then I was good again.
Was that fun? Because that was a long bus ride.
Yeah, it wasn't bad because I also had my red stripes.
Oh, that's true. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, you just have to. Red stripes are so good and they taste better in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing, smoking weed, I don't like it, but it's better in Jamaica.
Huh.
And we were staying at a sandals resort. So we've talked about this before. Our show gets these opportunities to broadcast on location.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to the sandals resort in Ocho Rios, Jamaica. And we were there, and sandals resorts are couples resorts.
They're so nice, though.
Oh, yeah, they're so
Like,
nice.
Probably the nicest resorts I've ever been to. I'm not even kidding. Like, they are so nice. You get so much food. You get so many drinks, and all that's just free.
Well, it's all inclusive. You've never been to an all-inclusive resort before?
I have in Mexico, but I think I was mostly drunk that whole entire trip, so.
Right. That makes sense.
I can't really be fully drunk on all these trips, but
No.
it's more relaxing.
Yeah, but when we had our relaxing time, we definitely indulged in those moments.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good time. And speaking of food, I made myself sick one night. Did I tell you that?
You made yourself sick?
Well, I ate too much.
Oh, you did tell me that.
I ate too much. I couldn't go to sleep. So then I made myself throw up so I could go to sleep.
Did you feel better?
I did.
What
It just wasn't enough room.
Yeah, but what is that like thought in your mind that kind of like gets you from A to B? Like, that's what I'm going to do. I'll go feel better after it. Like,
I was laying there and I was like, I'm so full. I need to go to sleep. Get it out.
ew.
So I got it out.
Huh.
Yeah.
Whatever works for you.
It worked. It worked. But one of the days where we tried to have this conversation was, had I already made my mess up or was that my first mess up?
That
because Victoria ended up being my therapist on this trip.
Oh my gosh, guys.
Which says a lot.
I just want to point out that I gave some great advice, never being in an actual relationship before. I give myself props for that. Because Nina was actually like, that's great advice. And I kind of second thought myself, was like, what? It is? Like, really? Thank you. But I think that was before.
The second one.
That was before the second one.
Yeah.
I think you may have gotten, like, you may have texted him,
Mm-hmm.
but he hadn't texted you back yet.
I sent the DM, so I was able to unsit before he saw it.
Yeah. Oh, that mess up. I forgot about that.
Man.
But I feel like we need to say first, we gave Nina's men names as well. This is one of my favorite parts, just because I like having names.
Yeah, because it's easier to kind of navigate.
Yeah.
So you named them.
Yeah. So the one that broke her heart, she was in love with for a long time, we call him Nemo. I kind of forgot why, to be honest.
That's okay.
But
He likes water.
I'm not saying anything about that.
Because I was talking about a vacation that I went on with him. And I was like, oh my God. And he's just always in the water. And she's like, okay, Nemo.
Yeah, so he's Nemo, and it's the one that Nina references a lot to, like, who broke her heart, she was in love with, like, this man, I feel
It
like
just
had a
didn't
hold
work
on me.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then her new man, who she's kind of getting along with, is Clark, because Nina called him Superman. I was like, whoa, you can't give him that much power. Like, he's not Superman. Maybe Clark Kent, who, like, he's the nerdy version of him.
Well, it's both versions, so it's all good. But you just got to navigate.
Yeah.
Right.
So Nemo and Clark are the only ones we have on the roster.
So back to Jamaica. I don't know what it is. And you don't get this way, Victoria, but
What?
some of you may understand. And I wasn't sad. I wasn't feeling sorry for myself. It wasn't any of those things. It was probably just exhaustion and a lot of alcohol. But when you're at a resort like that, that's a couple's resort, you know, everything is made for lovers. And you see, and being like this romantic that I am, like I just started to kind of get in my feels
Aw.
in this one moment.
Yeah.
And I couldn't control myself. I am getting better at that, though. The fact that I unsent it was control.
And we can confirm he never saw that.
Yeah,
sent it in the
he
first
never
place?
saw it. He never saw it. So I did end up sending a DM to Nemo because I was mad. Like, I've been trying to take the high road in all of this, but sometimes that just leaves you with stuff bubbled inside of you that you didn't get to say.
Process? Oh.
Well, I think it's all being processed, but for some reason, there are things that I'm like, you need to hear this. Like, you
Yeah.
need to know it. But in reality, he really doesn't. I mean, like, we're reminded constantly, don't send the paragraph.
But you did say also next week that Nemo has come back into your life like random times.
Yes,
Like texted you.
but just to check in. Like,
But wouldn't you rather it be like a clean break if it was that kind of heartbreaking every
I mean,
night?
it's not
Even
that
if
it's not that often. I mean, our last communication was at Thanksgiving. So
Even if it's like once a year, would you ever like put a stop to it and be like, hey, I'm sorry, like this can't happen. Like, please don't ever contact me again.
I just kind of feel like I'm going to not care at some point. Like, at some point, it's just not going to matter. Like, it's going to be like,
Yeah.
oh, that's nice. Thank you. But I've moved on. You know, like once you fully move on, and I am moving on, like I'm okay. So when I sent that message in my drunken feels, it wasn't to be like, I want you back. I love you. It wasn't any of that. It was like, I'm just mad at you. Like, I'm just mad.
That's fair.
None of it really matters at this point, and I don't really feel that way anymore. Like, I feel relieved. Everything's fine. And it took us being drunk in Jubal's hotel room and talking to you for a minute for me to be like, no, I'm good. Like, unsent. We're not telling him these things. So dumb. Like, you can be so grown and you can have your life so together. And then it just takes one little thing to get your emotions all riled up, and all of a sudden you're an idiot again.
Aw.
But no, it's not even an awe. It's not sad. It's just kind of funny when you realize the cycle. And so you have to eventually break the cycle or acknowledge the cycle.
We're not breaking it, just acknowledging it for now.
And then just like go on to the next part
There you go.
where you're a strong bad bitch.
And then wait for it to return the cycle.
No, we are good. I just thought it was strange that, you know, it was all during the time that we're in Jamaica. And also when I get on my period, I've talked to Gabby about this, who's in the studio right now too. Like, I actually get crazy. Like, my hormones are so nuts that I become a completely different person. And and that was happening at this time. And both of my mess ups.
Yeah.
So-
Well, I feel like the second one wasn't really yours. The first one kind of came out of the blue. because that was on you.
That was on me, yeah.
The second one was technically on Clark, who sent, like, it was technically my opinion, like, on him at the beginning.
So, okay, Gabs.
Oh, Gabby, join in. Wait,
Yeah, join in because
do you
you know
want to come
what?
sit over here? So
I
you can
never,
join?
I never told you this story
Come take a seat.
because it's not that big of a deal.
Let me get in here.
So Clark is a new guy that I've been talking to for a couple months, and it's been very slow, and it's been cool. I think he's super dope. I just want more from him, and
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna ask for it. Like, listen, I'm done with that. I've already chased. I've asked for certain things. Whatever. If he wants to stay in my around, great. I hope so. I would love that. I love spending time with him, and I love talking to him. But I don't know. I want more.
I feel like you've also said he doesn't really take hints. Like, this man, you are constantly having to be like, okay, real conversation. This is how I feel. This is like, I need more from you. And he sends you back like just a funny picture. Or a
But
funny video.
he does understand. Like, he's actually very emotionally intelligent and very well spoken and all that stuff. He's just sarcastic and a funny dude, but he
okay.
is a little bit clueless in times, which is endearing and frustrating at the same time.
For sure.
So on the trip, I was sending Clark like videos and like pictures, and like we were talking and communicating a bunch. And one of his love languages is sending funny memes
Cute.
and videos, and like
love that.
I love it too. So my DM's usually always full with some kind of nonsense to break up the day, which I love. So this was the night when we were going to the Italian restaurant.
Was it?
Was it?
It was.
Was that when you guys went to the Italian restaurant or when we all went to the Italian restaurant?
When we all went to the Italian restaurant because it was our last night.
Oh,
Are
okay.
you sure?
It was our last night because
Did it happen before or after? Oh, yeah, because we were going to the rum bar. Okay, sorry.
yes,
Yep.
yes.
I had to think.
So I was getting ready and we're like sending all these cute pictures and stuff. And then all of a sudden, like I get this video, I open the video and it's of a guy. I've had some drinks again, by the way. I am not an alcoholic. This is Jamaica. It is an all-inclusive resort.
You're on vacation.
Therefore, that completely discredits any alcohol I have.
And also, mind you, I am like in the period zone where I'm insane at this time. So, but he did send this video, and it's this guy who's like talking about like, yeah, I don't know why God keeps blessing me with all these really great girls that I just cheat on and da 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 da. Like, it was this whole
It's a weird video.
It was a weird video, but we didn't watch the whole thing. So I'm
Okay, but this was also very long. Let me just point that out. Like, it was a long video. I don't know anyone who would get to the end of it.
well,
Just about like cheating on
Women.
nice women?
yeah. So
Why would he send that
it was-
to you? It's so weird.
So I see this and I freak out. I'm like, "Are you trying to send me a message? Like, what is this?" And he
Nina sent red flag emojis.
Oh my God, yes. As you should. That
Wait.
is such a red flag.
no,
is kinda
but
funny,
the
actually.
funny part is so he's so well spoken and so nice. He's like, well, I guess men and women just maybe have different senses of humor, because the funny part was at the end of it, he got his girl like took his car, took his life. Like, so really the lesson is don't cheat or your whole life is going to get ruined. So the message of
We didn't make it that far.
we didn't
Okay.
make it that far. So I sit there and I'm
took a
like,
turn.
yeah, exactly. So now I'm the dumbass.
Yeah.
Like, I am 100% the dumbass that is just sitting there like, oh, shoot. I just sent him red flags. I just was like, what is this?
Got mad.
And I was like, maybe I'm just triggered because, I've been cheated on so many times. Like this,
Yeah.
I don't need to spiral like this, but
Yeah.
I did. And then that was that. And he didn't respond anymore that night. And so like then the next day we were traveling back home, and this was already a hellish day.
Yeah.
Like this day sucked.
It was a hard travel
and
day.
I broke 2 nails. And we'll get to
No.
that.
Not
Which
the nails.
I know.
It's too far.
And it kind of was.
Yeah, that's like the last straw.
This is like actually
Yeah.
the worst day. So then like the next morning I had gone back and like reread everything that I had sent, and I'm like crying and feeling like such a moron, because it's like a combination of like, why did you react so hard? Why did you do this again? You need to stop and breathe. And I'm really hard on myself, and I beat myself up a lot because he had no intention of upsetting me whatsoever. He did
Yeah.
not deserve any wrath whatsoever. So I felt really guilty, and I was like, I'm really sorry. Can we just pretend that didn't happen? I'm a sweetheart, I swear. Like, and he knows that.
Yeah.
But nothing. I heard nothing.
Wow.
So all day goes by where we're missing connections in Charlotte,
Oh,
where we're stranded in Dallas for 6 hours,
No.
where we're not sure where our luggage is,
Oh my
where
God.
And Nina throughout this is the whole time is freaking out because she's like,
Oh.
did I just mess this up? Like, did I seriously just do this? I'm pissed at myself.
Nina,
was
that
really-
sounds so stressful. I'm so sorry.
Thank you, Gabby. You see, the nicest person ever.
I said the same thing to you, but I also told you, like, if this man is going to ghost you
Yeah.
after one hiccup, you don't
Yeah.
deserve to, like, be with me then.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not going to go through one little, like, fight out of this thing or whatever,
It was just a simple miscommunication. And
Literally.
honestly, you could have sent something way worse than just red flag emojis.
thank you.
It could have been way worse. I don't think it was that bad.
Thank you. It could have been way worse. So I have restrained myself. But when you kind of attack a person that doesn't deserve it,
That's
That's
true.
fair.
however, you know, it's that's not okay. But the
Yeah.
funny part is too, what also crosses my mind as I backtrack in these situations, if you think about all the bitchy girls that you know that are still super cool, but they're mean, they can
Mhm.
snap and all that stuff. They're the ones with men that are just chasing them around all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Why is that?
I don't know.
No.
Hmm.
People do love the chase. They love the ups and downs.
I guess I'm too tired for that.
Yeah.
But like, also standing up for yourself is okay.
Mm-hmm.
And had I been right, I wouldn't feel so bad. But I wasn't. Like,
But-
I just was wrong.
You also sent, like, an apology and saying, I only react that way because I think I was triggered. Like, I apologize.
Yeah.
And granted, I would have been mad at you also, been like, okay, I totally get that, but it's not fair for you just to come at me just because of that. But rather than saying that, he just ghosted you for the entire day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the entire day.
Like-
I did end up hearing from him when we landed back in Seattle. So now all of a sudden, Sunday morning is now a good day because I get the text. We finally made it home, and I'm like, oh, geez. But now that doesn't erase the fact that a whole day went by
Mm-hmm.
of full on ghosting with my stomach in knots.
Like, what is he, 15? We're not doing this whole I mean, I ghost,
I
but
think I don't think
I'm
he was,
different, Victoria.
and I'm not even trying to like defend him or
Yeah.
whatever because he's a busy guy and it's normal for him to take hours to text back like because he's working like
Mhm.
he doesn't do something that allows him to just play on his phone all day and his life doesn't allow him to just play on his phone all day, or maybe it does sometimes, but I'm not sure. I don't know what he was doing. I didn't ask. I was just thankful that he wasn't mad at me at that point. So moving forward with Clark, I just think that I'm going to take a bunch of steps backwards.
Yeah.
And let him do it. Like, let him see if he's going to come. Like, I'm not stopping living my life and I have more things. I like
Mhm.
Clark, but Clark's got to
Step it
Figure.
up.
decide if he likes me.
yeah.
Or
point.
I guess that's not even right.
We'll
Right?
decide if he wants to put more time and energy to what y'all are kind of,
Right. And if
Yeah.
he doesn't, then
I
I don't either. Or not that I don't, but I won't.
yeah.
So then this morning I got a video. So I didn't reach out for 2 days.
Oh, God.
I know it's silly, but I'm not upset anymore. It wasn't so much about the relationship with Clark developing as much as it was how mad at myself I was
Yeah.
for how I reacted.
This like self-reflection though is so important. And I feel like the fact that you are constantly like trying to better yourself and like you always are going inward and being like, why am I reacting the way I am is like really awesome.
That's true.
Like, I think it's great.
Thanks, Gabs.
Yeah, and that's how you like better yourself as a person. And the fact that you apologized, a lot of people can't do that.
Really?
Yeah.
We
A lot
really
of
needed
people.
Gabby on that. on that
Gabby,
flight
where
with
were
us.
you?
Being able
She was home.
I was at home.
She made the flight.
I was running through the airport, but I made it.
And the lesson there is don't check your bags when you have all of the connections and have to go through customs
Yeah.
because that's how she made her flight. But anyway,
Direct flights only.
but keep going.
That too.
I hear.
Sorry, I cut you off. I
No,
apologize.
no,
but
you're
I'm
okay.
like, Gabby
Dude, my
made it
mind
home.
goes so fast. If it's gone, it's gone. It's with the wind now.
But what you were saying was really good that like a lot of people can't apologize.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, like taking that, like I've known a lot of people that are reactive to certain things, which is fine. Like we all have different triggers and stuff. But being able to have that self-reflection where you can take a step back and think about like that it's unfair to
Yeah.
people and being able to apologize for it is huge.
Thank you.
It's huge. And it says a lot about your character.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I
That was very
appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think that, and I've talked about this on the podcast before, and maybe you guys can relate to it too. There are some lessons that you have to learn relationally. So while you can take the time on your own to dig deep and heal yourself and, acknowledge where you feel like you do get triggered and how you can cope and heal in those moments, there are some lessons that have to be tested relationally, which is that the right word?
I was kind of questioning what that meant.
Kind of like in the moment.
No, with a
Like
person.
with people?
Like with people.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
is that correct?
I agree with that.
I think so too.
It's a good word for it.
I think it's relationally or like
Yeah.
with another person. So I had to be triggered again. And then the normal muscle memory reaction happened. But then to go back and be like, okay, well, now how this worked out and then chances of him being really upset and how I coped with it and getting myself all upset that day. So it's almost like it's a test. It almost feels like Clark's a test, but not
Ooh.
like whether it's a test for.
It's like a test for moving forward. Because
Mhm.
almost like you in your mind have worked through some of these
So many of
triggers,
these things. Yeah.
but you haven't been tested on them. So now you're being like tested on them to like use what you've learned. To,
Yeah.
like,
I
be like,
love that.
shit,
Yeah.
this did not work out how I planned.
Right. So it feels like he's
That's
kind of a test.
interesting.
And even some of his behavior that reminds me of other people,
Mm-hmm.
I'm reacting to it different. But he's different. He's actually not like them, which is funny too. So it's like,
Huh.
I don't know. But the whole process feels kind of like a test. What the man? I graduated from college, okay?
That
No
sucks.
more tests. So that was kind of my experience the last couple days of Jamaica. Jamaica itself was freeing.
Mm-hmm.
But those
Very
last
pretty.
couple of days, yeah. And I don't know, because Gabby and Victoria were on this trip and we're talking about all these deep things about ourselves, and they share with me too. This one just happens to be a little me focused. But and their coworkers too.
Who?
You guys.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, us, duh. What are you talking about now?
Yeah, no, and your coworkers too. And at the beginning of this trip and this time, not everybody has somebody they can just talk to so freely and feel like
Mhm.
they trust with their emotions at work,
Yeah.
That's true.
you know?
My cousin Haley, who came on the trip with us, literally after day 1 or maybe day 2, because she got there actually day 2. So after day 2, she came up to me and she goes, "So you and your coworkers?" And I was like, "Yeah, what about them?" She goes, "Y'all are very close, aren't y'all?" And I was like, "Is that a bad thing or a good thing?" She goes, "I just haven't experienced that."
we're
She goes,
really open.
Yeah.
I don't know that most people will ever experience in their lifetime the type of openness that we have in our workplace, because some people would just go ahead and run to HR at every moment.
With files and files in hand.
It's not for the weak-hearted.
No, but we make each other better. That's for sure. And we hold each other accountable. That is also for sure. But man, it was a ride. The funny thing is too, though, before we got there was an article that I read about the coworker thing,
Mm-hmm.
about how you should have boundaries.
We chopped those down immediately, said we don't need these.
I mean, ask yourself right now, as you're listening to this, could you go to Jamaica for 7 days with your coworkers? Could you do that?
I mean, I sometimes still debate every time we plan these trips.
So do I.
Oh, man.
I'm not going to lie. Coming in on Monday, I was like, gosh, I really need a break from these people. And it's not because I don't love them.
That's funny.
I just do.
Hey, everybody needs space.
I know. Do you ever feel that way, Gabby?
You know, like about you guys specifically or just in general?
Us.
Us.
I love being around you guys, to be honest. Like hanging out with
So
you guys. I'm
sweet.
sorry. Like genuinely hanging out with you guys every morning like makes my days better because you guys are all so funny. And so I spend my mornings like laughing and smiling with you guys and it just sets my day up. So I've never had a job that I've enjoyed as thoroughly as I've enjoyed this one.
Gabby might just be like the nicest person you've ever met. And I even told my cousin at one point, she goes, when she first got there, I was explaining everyone the dynamics. And then I was like, there's Gabby. And I was like, I love Gabby. She's the nicest person you'll ever meet. And
So
I don't know
sweet.
why sometimes she just walks in and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then Haley's like, is it because like she sounds like she's a very like always happy person? I was like, she is. And I love that about her, but it's also so early in the morning.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like,
Dude.
God damn it, Gabby.
My husband is not a morning person, and I literally wake up like the minute my eyes open, like I'm like singing, like, and I'm happy to be
Dear
there.
God.
Like I'm just like awake. He needs at least like an hour and a half, and he's just like, please stay away from me.
Go for a walk. Take the dog
Yeah.
out.
I don't think we could share a room on a trip.
Yeah, no.
There's no way.
Yeah, it's a lot.
She'll come in and be like, guys, I have this, like I have that. Like, oh my gosh, you guys start the date. I'm like, This is a terrible day to come in a bad mood.
It is
Oh my
it is
God.
refreshing though, because at least one person is always kind of in a mood in here,
That's true.
I would say. So you staying the constant is very helpful.
That's nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Thanks,
And
guys.
if for any reason you're new to this podcast, we are also on a show called The Jubal Show that you can find anywhere because we're worldwide. Ha ha ha. On your iHeartRadio app or at thejubalshow.com. So this podcast is kind of an extension of that. But for those of you who have stuck with me over the years, this is the new fam and the chaoticness continues. Victoria, you did mention a moment ago that you were describing to your cousin the different characteristics of us as, you know, she was arriving to join us because everybody got a +1. I didn't bring a +1.
Yeah.
Gabby brought her husband and Victoria brought her cousin, who is so cute, by the way.
Yeah, I love
you guys
her.
are twins.
loved you guys.
have the same butts. You have the same face shape.
You guys are adorable.
Funny.
Yo, your family's genes are thick.
That's funny.
I don't mean like you're thick. I mean like they
No,
run. Like
yeah.
they run.
Thick with 2 C's.
I mean like they run thick. Like. So what did you tell her about me?
Well, I was describing. I laugh at this just because when I described Brad,
Who's the executive producer of the show, who does pop up on our podcast from time to time.
I was like, "You'll love Brad, and you also hate Brad." I was like, "Brad can be such a sweet, like dad, like guy." I was like, and then sometimes he's just a dick. I was like, and I just apologize right now for you because like my other friend Gabby, one time we walked back to the room because she came on me with the last vacation, she goes, "Man, Brad can be a dick sometimes, but he makes it's more jokingly."
Yeah.
And so you have to take it with jokes forever. And at the end of the trip, Haley was like, "Yeah, I see that, but he's kind of funny." I was like, "Oh, God." And then told her about Jubal. And then I told her about, I was like, "Yeah, and then there's Nina." She goes, "I've been actually really excited." She was actually really excited to meet you.
Oh.
I think a lot of people are. I think because it's kind of like we have a sister relationship.
Yeah.
And so I told her that. I was like, it's very sisterly. It's like, remind you like of the boys, like my brothers.
Yeah.
But take it into a girl form, and so she can be very helpful with so many things at one time, and then the other time she'll be telling you to shut the fuck up the next.
Because you are the ultimate pain in the ass little
Oh my
sister.
God.
Like she just is. Don't you feel that way
I can't
sometimes,
help
Gabby?
it.
You guys got a dynamic going on. It is very sisterly.
She's like, "Well, I'm excited to see that in a girl form." Like, get ready for the ride. I hope you like being here.
It is very entertaining, though.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I mean, we have a good time. We do have a good time. So, yeah. I don't know, man.
Wait, when Bly first came on the trip, did you describe everyone?
I did.
What did you describe us as?
So when we went to Curacao the
I
first
wanna know.
time, because I think this is going to start being a regular thing where we travel together and we broadcast from these resorts, which sounds like not work, but it is work.
Gabby literally said the minute we got back home, she was like, "That was really fun, but I feel like I worked for 7 days straight."
Yeah. It didn't feel like there was a lot of downtime, which I cannot complain because it was so much fun.
Yeah.
But it definitely wasn't relaxing.
Well, you're the social media director, so you actually don't stop.
Yeah. That's like kind of the thing. Like there's no fine line like drawn in the sand of like, this is when you work and this is when you don't, because everything is content. So you're always trying to get it.
Yeah. Well, for us too, really. We have to create it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly. So it was exhausting, but it was a lot of fun.
yeah, it's super fun. So I tried to give my friend a heads up. That's kind of why I didn't bring anybody this time.
Mm-hmm.
And if I did, it would have been Bly again, just because she already knew everybody.
I love Bly.
Yeah, she's one of my best friends. We've been friends since we were kids. And by moving home, I get to spend more time with her. And I wanted to bring her kind of into this world because she hasn't been around to go to concerts and all those things with me. So I did. I gave her heads up. She already knew Jubal from before. And I was just like, yeah, that's Brad. And then Victoria, I was like, she's like little sister vibes. And she loved you.
I love Bly with my whole heart. If you're listening to this, I love you. She is so much fun.
Yeah, she's a good time. But I felt bad because I couldn't keep up with her. And once upon a time, I was the don't sleep, go all day, party all night. Like that was who I was. And that's probably why I'm so tired now.
Yeah.
It's like I went so hard for so many years that now I'm just like, I don't want to.
Yeah, you got to catch up.
And Bly is a mom. So she's like, I'm free. My kids aren't with me. My husband's at home. She wanted to wake up and take shots, go to the pool and take shots.
Mom's gone wild.
And like, I could do it for a little while, but then I was like, you know how many
day.
shots I've taken in my life? Like,
Yeah.
I need a nap.
Please.
So this time I, kind of prioritize sleep a little bit more. But it's funny, that self-awareness thing really smacks you in the face when you just have to listen to your body. And that's what my mom has been saying my entire life.
Seriously?
And I would make fun of her for it because she's always like, if she'd lay down to take a nap, I'm like, what are you doing? Nina, I'm listening to my body.
Yeah, like I just said
And
that.
she says it just like that. I'm listening to my body.
Like, oh, okay.
I'm like,
Get
okay.
it, Mom.
And now I'm like, damn, Mom's right. I'm listening to my body. I got to go to bed. Or like, dang, I don't want to go out, or I don't feel like drinking right now.
Rest is important.
Yeah, I will say my cousin didn't stay the whole time. She left like a day or two before us. And so having that day, I loved having her there, but having that day to myself, I finally was able to get a little bit more work done than I normally do because I was able to take my medicine. I have really bad ADHD.
No.
Okay.
Really?
You know what?
I didn't know this about you.
Maybe some people listening don't know. If you can't tell by the way I already speak.
She started even a diary called the Adderall Diaries.
I did. I had
Stop,
an
I love
idea
that.
in it.
I swear that's probably like reading some kind of like, I don't know what, but I'm excited about it.
Oh my gosh, I'll bring it to work one day.
Okay.
But it was nice because I was able to take my medicine. They upgraded our rooms, so I literally just laid on a day bed with a little mini pool in front of me that overlooks everywhere with a nice chicken BLT and a Caesar salad and French fries, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
was having a great time by
Yeah.
myself,
It does
just
sound nice.
relaxing, having no one bother me,
Yeah.
but I also like having people around. I don't think I could be alone.
Well,
on
that's
the whole
kind of the
week.
benefit of like having your own room. And
Yeah.
as you get older, it's kind of one of those things too. Like, when you're younger, you guys all pile. I say you guys because you guys are still in your early 20s. But you know how you pile in like 10 people into a room. So some people are sleeping on the floor or like
yeah.
on the corner of beds. We do not do that anymore. You get to a certain age and you work hard. And the one thing you're going to do is treat yourself with a bed no matter what. We're not packing in like that. So having your own room goes a long way.
Me and
Really?
Gabby were talking about going to London earlier, so I'm
Yeah.
guessing you don't want to stay in the one bedroom with us.
Yeah, it has one bed,
were
one
gonna squeeze.
king size bed.
No, I would need my own room, but
Okay.
I don't hate the idea of going to London. But
Right.
why can't we just get like a house?
Homie, we're keeping it cheap.
All right, you got to travel with people that are compatible with you.
Yeah, there you go. That's the lesson here.
Me and Gabby are like, we're splitting the bed. Nina's like, I'm getting a house.
But you do need to know, Gabby, if you do split a room with Victoria, she's extremely messy and will not pack a small suitcase.
I'm not messy. I can clean up, but just
That's fine.
give me a minute.
That's
See,
totally fine.
How nice is Gabby right
Yeah.
now?
I
I'm-
can. Mess does not bother me.
What does bother you?
What? Yeah,
Yeah,
what
I
does
kind of-
bother you?
Let's get to know Gabby. I
Okay.
feel like we need like a cute little sound behind this.
Let me just get all cozy in here. Okay. What does bother me is when people are mean for like no good reason.
Yeah, I agree with that though.
That shit pisses me off.
Yeah.
That's like the most generic thing you can be mad about.
No, but she does get mad about that.
I do. Like if and I would never like confront a stranger. I don't like confrontation, if you can't tell. But I would never confront a stranger. But if I saw someone like being mean to someone, I would throw down. 100%.
Stage it.
I was gonna say we need to stage something.
I don't believe her.
I kind of do.
She'd be like, excuse me.
She would say it in a nice way still.
Be like, you guys, I feel like we could just like talk this out.
Yeah.
Like, let's all just like sit down and maybe like have some tea and we can all talk about our feelings and
And then she'd come in the next day and
Diffuse
be
the
like, guys,
situation.
I was pissed yesterday. I told them my mind.
I gave him a piece of my mind, damn it.
Well, this morning you came in all mad about somebody who had let their dog poop on the sidewalk.
God,
Oh, that's funny.
yeah, like
I'm
that's just
sorry.
inconsiderate. Like just clean up after your dog. I stepped in it. I stepped in your dog's shit because you couldn't pick it up. Like, goddamn. It's not that hard. Don't get a dog if you can't pick up after yourself.
I mean, amen.
Yeah.
I just can't wait I just kind of picture Gabby like peeking her head out of her window, like watching people as they walk by with dogs, just waiting for the person in her run out there. Excuse me. Excuse me, please don't let your dog. I was so mad, Ty.
You should have seen me. I told them.
I was
Ty's
out
her
there. I was
husband.
giving her the old one too.
When in reality, it's so different. Oh my god, that's
For real.
Oh man. Well, now we're back in full swing, guys. Everybody feel good?
Yeah, I feel good.
oh, good.
Everything off your chest?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
yeah.
I'm thinking.
I feel free.
Good.
I feel lighter.
You know what? I do too.
Yeah.
I really do.
After getting all that off your chest.
Well, I mean, just the whole process of all of this and
Oh.
listening to you guys, you know?
Aw,
The youngins came through.
that's cute.
The youngins came through with some wisdom.
Nice.
Yeah, whoever said Victoria never has wisdom in her head, fuck off. 'Cause I do, obviously.
Pull this episode back up.
Yeah,
We got proof. We have
sorry.
receipts.
I told too many times nothing up there. Suck it. So I'm a little mad.
She's like really sad.
We're gonna, yeah, I know. We'll just leave it on that. Actually, yeah, we'll leave it there. So thanks for being here for this week's Classy Chaos.
Pause. Go back. What were you gonna say?
You were so sassy today. Like you just couldn't shut up. Like in the middle of my breaks, you just kept talking and like talking over and asking questions about everything I was saying. Like, come on. Now the last thing that I need is somebody to text into the show and be like, Nina, you're being mean to Victoria again. I was like, well, did you hear the little bitch start all over me?
a little bit.
Asking me questions like, well, who's Punxsutawney Phil? Like, who knows what Groundhog's Day is?
Not everyone knows who that is.
I did not know what Punxsutawney was.
Yeah, so you know what, Nina?
You suck it, bitch. Don't even start. This is all love. This is a lot of love.
Taking that clip. Who's that little bitch?
Also, she's referred to me as a bitch on many occasions.
Oh, I have. She's a bitch.
So, see, I just want to be clear.
It's
It's
endearment.
all love.
I called Brad a bitch one time and he got so
Oh my God. I think I called him a bitch the same day. And he's like, why is everybody calling me a bitch? He's like, I'm not a bitch.
I'm like, Brad is a term of endearment.
Oh man.
Well, on that note, you go be a chaotic bitch today.
But keep it classy, bitches. Yeah, if you want to say bitch in there.
What they said, bitch.
Oh!
Woo!